Yo, first smoke of the day. We're back, man. Episode 18. I'm here with my co-host Black Leaf. Pat Godge checking in. What's good, man? How you doing?
Big Amsterdam vibes. I'm doing great,
We're
bro.
still out here live in Amsterdam right now. We've been running through them.
Got like 20 flavors in front of me right now.
This is crazy. We're here at Greenhouse Secret Farmers right now here in The Hague. And we're here joined by DeJaun from Greenhouse Secret Farmers. What's good, bro? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, bro. Here, I sit at a table full of really nice things, to be honest, man. I'm
looking at some good things.
A lot of Dutch grown stuff.
Yeah, man. Yeah. We got a lot of stuff for you guys to try, a lot of classics for you. And yeah, it's going to be a really interesting thing, guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Appreciate you having us in your amazing space here, this
man,
amazing lounge.
We are really happy to host you here and to see and to show you what we can offer you and to show you what The Hague has to offer to the cannabis community in the whole world. Because we have to admit that lately, even finally, we can put also spot here in The Hague. Because we have really fucking good shop here as well.
I like
we
that.
can really appreciate now really good terps also in The Hague. Finally, after years, you know.
Come to the
I'm really
Hague.
happy about it, you know.
For real, you guys putting on. We're also joined here by our friend Mark from the Jack Herrera Cup. How you doing, brother?
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining on with us.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate it to be here, guys.
Absolutely.
It's an amazing setup. Guys can't see it, but it looks
Really professional.
No, this lounge is amazing. It's wood accents, very modern, very upscale, very
Cool
clean, and a really, really dope shop. And there's some flavors here.
Yeah,
So
it's a
we're-
great place to
we're
smoke.
looking at it.
Man, I mean, the dopest part about all these out here is every lounge is different. So I
Yeah.
get to buy my stuff and I get to vibe out to a different vibe. Like if you're a creator out here, this is the best place. I could literally bring my laptop or bring my whatever I create on, come grab some flour and then create in a different environment. So I'm influenced differently, right? Like here I'm feeling different than if I was at a Moroccan inspired lounge.
Yeah,
you know?
of course.
So-
As you saw in Amsterdam. In Amsterdam, you can really see a lot of differences between, because you went inside now, right?
Oh.
You could smoke inside in Amsterdam.
We've been all over.
Yeah, because now in The Hague, after the corona, it's really hard to find a place that hosts you inside to smoke as a customer, you know, because
Got it.
most of them being closed because they made a tobacco law here.
Yeah, I saw that.
So yeah, all the smoking areas are pretty much gone in the whole city.
Is that a
But-
good thing or a bad thing?
Man, I used to do what you said. I used to just go to a coffee shop, and in the day how I was feeling, I was choosing the coffee shop from the vibe I had, you know, because every coffee shop could give you a different thing. You know, you had the coffee shop to go to meet somebody and smoke with somebody. You have the coffee shop where it's more chill, so you can do your things, make your music, or I don't know what you guys do. But
Yeah.
I make music. So for me, it was a big part, you know what I mean? So I
Yes.
really lose a big part of my life, you know what I mean? Because I'm not a beer drinker, so I don't like to be in a place where people drinks. I like to be in a place where people smoke and I can just pass a spliff to somebody or get a spliff to somebody or get to know somebody in the scene, you know?
We're seeing that a lot,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
The alternative for people who don't consume alcohol.
Exactly, man. Exactly.
There's a lot of people out here and they'd rather consume
Yeah.
cannabis
Yeah, man.
and the options
Definitely.
are closing or the options
Definitely.
are, it's very
Yeah,
interesting.
after Corona it's really hard to you know, get back to all this sociality thing. And I mean, for me now, it's just going to Amsterdam to find these vibes lately. Yeah, in The Hague, it's hard to find.
I love it. Creatives
Yeah,
rule the
yeah,
world, man.
yeah,
And this is part of it.
amazing.
Do you think they're going to be lifting the restrictions out here soon? Or
I don't know, man. You know, Holland is really, as we were saying before, the rules are really weird, you know. And also every municipality can make a different rule. So
yeah, it's like that in the
everything could
US
change
too.
tomorrow, you know what I mean? And
Yeah, we're dealing with the same thing.
I really hope, and we were talking also here to slowly reopen again, also the smoking area. And yeah, I mean, we can just, or not force, but just ask the people to don't put tobacco in their joints, you know, and they can just smoke pure. And that's what I hope is going to be in the future, to just, yeah, you know, because just having the shop, which is takeaway, and I'm working here. So for me, it's a completely different feeling, man. I miss the social part of the people coming in and coming to you. Hey, bro, this flower is really good. You know what I mean? You get a different, a different interaction with the customer.
The
you know,
energy.
right? The energy, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's a big part which I miss here in the shop, and which I guess also the people who lives in this city is missing a lot. You know?
And the people who normally come to the shop to get away from the
From their
crazy
thing,
day
yeah.
or from the monotonous or to create.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
they're missing it too.
Yeah, exactly. There was a big part for the city, and I hope that we will have it back.
It will.
This build out in this shop seems fairly new. How long have you guys been here? Or how long has this been? Like,
We've
this
been
lounge?
here. We opened from 30 years, but we renewed the shop in the last year since Corona started, and since it was mostly takeaway in the last year.
Exciting. You guys.
So we made the shop
renovated.
easier with more cashiers, so we could be easier
It's
working.
amazing.
You know, yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
Cali inspired too, as far as like every single strain has its own branding.
Yeah,
I like that. I haven't seen that out here anywhere.
We really want to inform the people on what they smoke. We really hire only professional bartenders who knows what they sell, and we also smoke everything what we sell. So we exactly know what to tell to the customers. We exactly know what the product does to you as an effect and which terpenes are on it. So we try to give the people also some of the new hypes that you guys bring from Cali, or that the Canada is bringing us to us, like slurricane or new gelatos or ice cream things, you know.
Yeah.
And we try to give the new, but we also try to keep the old school things, because here people has been smoking from 30 years. So you really have people who wants the old school thing. So we still keep the old school haze, which is a plant that the father of Keys who will come soon here.
Amazing, by the way.
He keeps the plant for 35 years. So it's a really old school sativa plant. It's a Mexican haze. And we try to keep also this kind of taste, you know, like the UK cheese or really
Love
old
it.
school things.
Yeah,
Because we have a range of customers which goes to the young people, but we also sell it to people of 60 years old who may want to have those old school terps, you know, who doesn't really like the new funky and gassy terps. Is not for them, you know, but still we want to keep the thing hyped for the people who wants that thing. So we try to have the menu complete and with the good
Sativas.
hash selections. Yeah,
They can't, there's not a lot of new sativas.
no,
that
that's true,
alone.
but we always have the haze menu, which is always the base for us, because the Dutch people
There
want
you
the
go.
haze. You know, it's the Dutch people really, they come inside and they ask for haze, amnesia, super silver haze.
Yes.
And our specialist mostly most sold is the S5, which is our secret farmer weed. You know, it's our special, and people really loves it, man. I mean,
Let's hear the strains. What strains? What strains are the hot ones? What's booming? Let's talk.
Booming. The hot cells are like the S5, as I told you, which is it's similar to a G13. You know, it's like a strong haze, like a really pungent haze, really sativa. That's the one. That's our most sold. But we also sell a lot of our Afro, because we collaborate also with Afro genetic people. So we also sell their strains like the Curacao OG. We sell also their Caliente OGs. And
We've tried all those.
Yeah, they're crazy. Those terps, I'm happy because those terps are really new to the scene. Because here, I live in the Hague from 10 years, and I have to admit, only in the last 5 years, this shop and other shop are getting the level up. You know, because we're trying to bring new terps. Because if you guys go around in the city, you're just gonna see classical thing, and here classical thing means haze, white widow, and man, I was tired of this stuff, you know, and I'm happy that a lot, and especially this shop is trying to bring the terps to the city. You know what I mean?
I love it,
new
man.
Things, you know?
I love it, and I like when dispensaries or coffee shops out here. I like when they buy local too. I love guys like the homie Mean Green and all these. I mean, all these local growers.
We try to collaborate also with these people, because we want to have our local product. We don't want to have. We try at least to have all
options
on our menu. Yeah, exactly. We mostly try to have organic things, organic on our menu. We try to check our product really good, and we try to sell the best product we find out. We don't get just the first weed we find around. You know, we try to get the best, and also the cleanest thing, the white ashes weed, you know, like
how it burns is a big part.
A really big
ashes.
part, you know, it's a really big part here. And it wasn't, I have to admit, until 2 or 3 years ago, since you guys made it a thing, you know,
since we broke some hearts.
To be honest, man,
I catch a lot of grief about that for growers that can't get white ashes still. They're like, man, you started this thing, you know, and now people won't buy what I'm growing. But no, we've upped the game, and that's all we're here to do is spread knowledge, and that's why we're here to.
Yeah. But that was the problem. Technically, here in Holland, it's not completely legal as you do have. So you can really test things in the lab. You can really check the plant from seed or from the clone to the end of the product and really check how the
whole
product
process.
is. You can write when the product was made on the bag. You can tell the customers really everything. Here in the shop, technically they can sell what they want. So a serious shop, you really recognize from the quality of weed that they sell, from how clean the weed it is, from how the weed tastes. And we try always to have the best. We don't want to have old weed. We just try to give
Fire.
our customers
Yeah.
fire, because that's what it's supposed to be. That's what.
What's the best local strain you smoke lately out here? What's some fire local shit?
Man, the last.
I want to know about the Dutch fire.
Oh,
I know about the Cali fire.
I do like a lot the
Dreams
strain
Gold,
that
I
we
would
sell.
say.
Also, the Dreams Gold is one of the best kushes smoked around lately. Or the Cannabis haze is one of my favorite, which is a cross of old school haze and camp dog. So it's not a completely haze, but we technically
It's so delicious,
a lot of
man.
haze smokers of the city really loved it because it's a haze feeling in the effect, but you get this wheat from the different terps from the camp dog, and that's really interesting, to let the people, also the haze smokers, which are used to those haze terps, to bring them with the same effect, but to a different level of
And the haze high.
terpenes.
The haze
Yeah.
high is very
Yeah.
different.
Yeah,
From-
exactly.
I mean, Pack Gods,
The
you can attest to
experience.
this now. The experience that the haze gives you versus, and I'm from Cali, I'm a Cali representative, but it's different, right? And that's why you need everything. You need to offer, because some days I'm looking for a smoke and to talk,
Exactly.
and some days I'm not looking to talk, and I'm just looking to smoke and create
Exactly.
and get
Yeah.
inside my
Yeah.
head.
Yeah.
Haze is that,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
you know,
it's
and
gonna help you in that moment, man.
It's so
yeah.
I
popular
love
around
that.
here. Most of us grow up with it.
Yeah.
So because
Yeah, we all been.
Well,
when
you've
I
been
was
smoking
younger-
fire. You got the Jack Herrera cup cranking.
Oh man.
I mean, come on
Yeah,
now.
Mark.
I've been smoking since I was
Mark-
15. I'm 35
Yeah.
years old now, so I'm 20 years smoking experience. But
Absolutely.
back in the day, it was like we had White Widows, we had Northern Light Special, but more like those white types as we call them over here.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I was at the grow shop, and I was a guy over there who had a new type of haze. And when I smoked it, that was like I fell in love with it. It was like the smell, and it was like so amazing. And after that, it became so popular. You got these different varieties. This was like the legit, real amnesia.
Oh yeah.
I can't find it anywhere anymore because it's all different types of hazes that grew out of it later. But
Or phenos. People pop
Yeah.
seeds of the original, and now they have their own pheno, so it's a little different.
and they cross. I mean, but also the haze like Karel's haze and
Yeah.
the old school haze. I mean, for me, we had so many entries last year. We had 28 haze entries in the cup. And for me personally, one of my favorites is the Karel's haze.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First time I
Yeah,
smoked, I
it's
was
a
like,
crazy one.
"Whoa,
It's crazy
this is-"
one, bro.
And unfortunately, it did not win anything. I mean, yeah, I'm not a judge, but if it was up to me, then 100%. That's the best I had in the selection.
It's like waves, right? I feel like a lot of people are going to go after the Cali stuff right now.
Yeah,
just to be
man.
honest.
Yeah.
But the key to this, in my opinion, coming from a grow side, is
Embrace both.
yes,
Just like you guys are doing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just like you guys are doing.
Let's
And
get some Cali genetics grown Dutch.
oh yeah,
That would be
100%.
interesting, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, really interesting because I've been.
we're tasting
happy-
some. We're tasting some right here.
Right now.
Man, Mean Green.
But
Shout
like
out.
I say with the
Fire,
haze
bro.
in the US,
Fire.
I've been traveling quite a lot to the US in the past years, and I never found the haze that we have over here.
Exactly.
Over there.
It isn't here. I swear
And
that
then they say-
No, never.
Karma Genetics gave us some haze yesterday, and I swear I was in a time machine from 10 years ago. I haven't tasted that. I haven't had
upgraded.
that. And I've seen a lot of haze. That's primarily what was coming through. You know what I mean? But it's just like everything in life, right? It's like new waves and new ages, and there is a new generation forming, and they are into some really different shit. And there's some really cutting edge flavors coming out. But nostalgically and classically, I think the classic flavors definitely got to stay in the catalog.
They must.
And that the quality just needs to be procured on them to keep raising the bar in that sense. You know what I'm saying? To where it's the best experience for the smoker, because smoking haze is completely different than smoking like gelato or like this black truffle I'm rolling up right here that you guys have.
Yeah,
looking
it's
into
crazy.
Cali flavor, looking insane, but completely different experience. And that's what's dope about out here is that you can, like you said, depending on how you feel that day, you can pick a coffee shop and say, I'm going to go over here and create this experience and change it up. And that's the most beautiful thing about cannabis, because you really can't do that in anything else. You can't do that in alcohol. You can't do that in
definitely.
many other things. It can't be a different experience every single time. And that's why cannabis is, such a beautiful thing like that.
But then I want to jump in a little and refer to the book of Jack Herrera, basically, which describes all the things that you can make out of cannabis, which is basically our entire life supply. Because we can make clothing, we can make fuel, we can make
oil,
build houses, we can make
educate
everything.
Educate the listeners, Mark, and what inspired you to come up with the Jack Herrera Cup and devote to this.
We started this in 2016 in Vegas, together with my former partner over there. And basically, we had the luck to walk into Genie at a High Times event over there. And we heard the story, what was happening. And we were like, okay, let's, keep this legacy alive. That's what our main goal, main drive is. And I've helped Randall out over there for 3 years in Vegas. And then, we decided, okay, let's bring it to Europe. Because I'm from Amsterdam, and we do have had some cups around here.
The first ones,
yeah, exactly.
I talk about that as like Amsterdam is the first society to claim cannabis.
Oh yeah, 100%, and also the first ones that started with a cup,
celebrated it
30 years ago.
Yeah,
100%. So we're coming back here full circle. And I came here when I was 19, back in like 2007. And I don't know. I'm just kind of confused that I thought it would be a lot more ahead, and it seems like it's been very repressed.
Oh yeah, in the last year. So
the thing how I think is going to be is we all know it's going to be legal one day, because when you look in the world, you look at, for example, where you guys are from, America. I see this as the blueprint now of the rest of the world. So the way you guys do it is perfect.
I hope no. I hope you take it and upgrade it. Because for the growers, it's not. There's a lot of flaws in the system for the small guy.
Okay.
Big corporations, easy for them to get in and get what they want. They need to open it up to the legacy farmers and the legacy guys, the guys who have been putting their ass on the line for 30 years.
In the
Well, basically what happens.
Oh, wow, I thought that was.
Yeah, I'm also surprised.
Basically what happens and begins to happen is the shops get the B plus and the black market gets the A plus. That's what's happening right now in America.
But that's crazy, because I thought that everything was registered from the seed.
Millions of dollars.
So very hard to get
a license.
Very hard to get all the capital together. Think about the talented musicians and all these people. How many of them would you have heard if they didn't get that big money behind them?
Oh, no, yeah.
Nobody.
You wouldn't have heard their music.
No, never.
That's what we're dealing with in cannabis right now. And that's what's happening in the US. There's so much untapped potential and talent. And corporate America, the corporate guys, they don't want to listen to them about, this, that, or the other when it comes to what they really need to produce or what it would really cost or how small the margins may be in the first 5 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's really different, man. It's changed a lot, and it's not easy for the little guy. I hope that when they legalize here, they look at it and they say, okay, how do we make it Dutch?
Yeah, okay, but then I have to
right? Like, how do you make it your own? Let's make it your own a little bit. But that's just from the inside looking out, though, right? I'm the small guy.
Thing that's going on right now.
I haven't. What?
So, well, basically, they got like this experiment.
10 licenses, right?
Which is like, with 10 licenses for a 4-year experiment project, and basically, which is on hold right now, what I heard. Yeah. But what happened over there is this supposed to be a thing, which is for the local growers. And now what happened is that like corporate companies come in, and I'm not going to go put on any names, but that's how what you just explained.
Sounds like California.
The money is exactly deciding at this point.
It's persuasive.
I know many growers in this country that want to go and go to the Chamber of Commerce over here and write in a company and start legal tomorrow.
And
it's their life's passion.
And pay taxes.
And pay taxes. They want to pay taxes so badly, but they don't go to do it right now because
they can't.
What's happening is, first of all, you see the corporate companies coming in. So that's what's pulling them back. But also, if they go in right now and the government knows who these people are, then there's no way back.
So there's all kinds of flaws in the system. It's absolutely crazy. They always go corporate with it. And then after about 8 to 10 years, all the small guys start to enter in masses then because people start to fail because they're not the culture.
Yeah,
in the end,
they're not from the cannabis culture, so they don't even know how to grow
They don't
really
have the
the
passion.
fire
They
or
add
even the
steroids
genetic. And they
to
don't
the
have
black
that.
market.
Yeah.
The black market's
Yeah,
gonna
yeah, yeah.
boom if they do that, because I hear they're even limiting what strains you can only grow. Like 10 strains, and you have to. There's some weird thing with strains too.
oh yeah,
They're limiting in ways that just makes zero sense.
it's really
It just
crazy.
literally makes
Yeah.
zero sense. It's like open it up, tax it, and keep it fucking moving.
But you know what'll
Also,
happen?
the people that-
It just
some
won't
people-
work, and it'll take years for it to not
Yeah,
work.
It takes
and
a lot
then
of
it'll-
countries to try
Yeah.
and fail, and then
And also you
suddenly
got-
one will try to mix some of them, and we'll find the perfect.
They don't
one.
learn
It
from
will
each
take-
other, though.
No,
Like California, we didn't learn from Colorado.
no.
Mhm.
We didn't. We looked from the outside, and they have a bunch of people. And the lady who ran the whole program in California, she just resigned, and it was under some weird. Did she take? I think it was some crazy news stories going on, and she resigned. Right. So it's just very interesting because every state ends up taking the corporate money.
Yeah.
Because it's weird. It doesn't. They think it's bigger money and it's more secure. But if you just took licensing from all the small guys who are the culture, I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. And
The
In the end-
consumer
in the
would
end
be
of the world, or in the
would
end of the
benefit.
day, is like when you look over here. A lot of people say follow the money, right?
yeah,
So when you follow the money and when you look into the registered companies in like Canada, the top 10 shareholders are the same shareholders of Visa, Coca-Cola, Red Bull. Doesn't matter. All these stock market companies. So this also is for me like a proof that it's gonna be legal because these people, they control what's happening in the world. And
yeah,
if they
primarily
are-
Amazon. Once Amazon
investing-
signs on, it's
Oh yeah, that's definitely
official.
gonna happen because look at Netflix and Prime, and they're all advocating
Well,
for
big
cannabis documentaries and all stuff like this.
it's going to take
If
big tech
nothing's
because
happening-
big tech is the government now.
Well, I
Big
think
tech
that the
is the
government
new
is in a
world
different
order, I
layer
feel
of a different layer of the so-called pyramid. I mean,
Yeah.
the government is in the middle of that, and there's corporate companies and individuals above that, which basically
Wouldn't you
pull
agree
strings.
though that companies like Amazon, Uber, these type of companies,
Mhm.
like even Apple,
Well,
once
look
they
at
sign
Google,
up,
Facebook,
exactly. Once they,
social media platforms,
so that's pretty much the government.
or media.
In my
you know?
opinion, it's like the way they can censor the world.
Yeah.
They're pretty much the new government and the new world order, if you will, because once they get okay with cannabis, I think
it'll
go there.
legalize. That'll be legalization.
Honestly,
It's
honestly.
happening.
Yeah.
And that's what you see here in Europe. I mean, in Spain, a lot of things were happening in a positive way. Unfortunately, last week they made some radical
turn.
changes, and which is bad because this is just like bouncing people around for no reason.
Before legalization and before they start to tax it and they bring structure to it, that's always happens the same way. They start to come down on it, and then there's a struggle, but and all that. But I mean, on a positive note, I fucking love it here, and we're smoking fire.
Oh yeah,
And the Jack Herrera Cup. And I mean, like, honestly, for people in America, you got to get out here, man, because people want to say like Cali's got the best weed, and they do, man. They do, right? Because we have the best growers from all over the country and the world. But this is the thing. It's different, man. It's different. I come here and I met the right guys. I'm smoking the same exact quality fire as I would smoke with the growers in California because I'm meeting the right people and I'm in the right places. We did our research.
You got the clean product.
Yeah. And I'm just being honest, man. Like, it's all in who you know and you do your research because all these places we're putting on and all these people we're talking to actually smoke the fire and have the fire. So like when you come out here, it's such a different experience than California or America. I mean, I'm finding an excuse to get out here more often. I absolutely love it.
And especially greenhouse guys.
Yeah,
I mean, with all due respect, last year they won 6
Absolutely.
awards with us. Which
Oh,
is
wow.
crazy.
Wow.
There's like 20 on the shelf over
Yeah,
here.
guys.
It's insane.
It's the first thing you see when you walk in, all the trophies,
It's
Beautiful.
insane.
all the awards.
Every cup that's being held in Holland, where the greenhouse attends with,
We
they
always did
win
our
like
best
1, 2, 3
to
awards,
find
you
the
know?
best things out
Crazy.
and to work with the most passionate people around us. We always try to get the best extractions and the best things out there. Only work with organic
Man.
farmers, and people who has really the knowledge on it. And yeah, man.
You got to keep up updating everything
Yeah,
that
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
You're running a good business here. I mean, this is
100%.
an impressive business. I come in here, I'm impressed
Yeah.
from the
Thanks,
interior
guys. Thanks,
design
guys.
to
And
the
I'm happy
menu to the technology, to the vibe, the atmosphere, everything. I'm thoroughly impressed. And then just to back with all the awards and the product,
Thanks,
I mean,
guys.
that wraps it full circle. Like,
Yeah.
I'm honored to be here and to definitely be speaking with you guys. And talk to us about like the first Jack Herrera Cup in Europe. Like, what was that like when you first brought it over from Vegas to Europe?
Well, honestly, it was really exciting.
Yeah. You know, and like,
because I didn't know what was happening, and there was a lot of rumors about another cup that was held the year before that, and there was a lot of issues over that with that one. So we were like, okay, are people going to trust the cup in general anyway? And then I just walked into all the places, and we just were lucky to have enough people on board, so we have everything that we needed to be covered to cover that up. We even were able to fly Jeannie in from the US over here. So she had a lovely week in Amsterdam. We had a lovely time with her at the Hard Rock. I'm really thankful that we made an exclusive deal with the Hard Rock. So we're the only cannabis event that can be, pulled off over there.
At the
big.
Hard Rock.
No, that's big.
Yeah.
When I saw that on the booklet you gave us here, it solidifies it. It's like, yo, it's a good
Quality.
good collaboration of like where you can have the event, and it's dope that you got that in the Hard Rock in Amsterdam. Are you guys at the Hard Rock in Vegas too?
Yeah, that's where it all started.
Exactly, and then you brought it over here to Amsterdam. That's legendary.
So that's amazing.
Yeah.
And over here in Amsterdam, they were like, this is such a cool thing. And we endorsed cannabis. So we were like, okay, let's do it. And obviously you cannot smoke inside because that's the laws over here. But outside of the terraces, they all
plenty of
friendly,
coffee shops.
And plenty of coffee shops around in Amsterdam.
How do you guys go about, like, how does the Jack Herrera Cup work?
Well, basically what we do is we have the variety of categories. This year we have 12 categories. And what we do is we have a first, a second, and a third place that you can win. And people, they just can, coffee shops, they can enter, or growers, they can enter. And what we do is we have a judge house where we have 1 week of judging, and all the judges will judge all the entries blind. So we had an endorsement deal with Chubby Gorilla last year. So they used to provide us the jars. And then what we did is we put all the flowers in there. We number them, we label them. So the judges, they get the jars labeled. And then they just need to smoke them in the week. And
the good part.
yeah, but what we don't want is that people smoke like one after another, because then you can't
you
judge
need some
properly.
time. You need some time to enjoy it.
Yep. So that's why we put 6 judges in the house for a week, and let them have fun.
That is epic. 6 judges in the house for a week, and everyone basically gets to take their time and experience everything as they go. Like, I'm going to smoke this day while I'm doing this. And then let me later, while the sun's setting, I'm going to smoke this strain. Yep. So honestly, you get to really experience every single strain. That's super cool.
100%. And that's also different than what we did in Vegas. In Vegas, it was just judged by judges from their home, And that's a different thing than when you just go into a place and with 6 and eventually 10 people, we were in the house. You have to click,
Oh,
You're
man.
there for a week.
It's more like real world. It's like a jury trial.
Yeah.
But
we have
come to the verdict.
We had Uncle Stoner. We had Master Bong in the first year. We had Ava Dabber from Leafly by then.
Maybe this will be a good time to bring in a judge and tell us about his experience. And we got Captain Hooter in the building right here.
Hooter.
Special judge of the Jack Herrera Cup, Captain Hooter. We'll talk to him here shortly in a second. He can tell us about his experience being the judge and and his journey of being a cannabis advocate. Anything else you want to talk about with Greenhouse Secret Farmers, man? What's next for you guys, and what are you looking forward to out here?
Yeah, we always try to we want to collaborate always with to bring new strains, like some new American flavors, and like you guys also have interview. I saw Doja Park, so we're now having some Doja strains also on the menu.
Shout out, big homie Doja.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I'm really impressed from the quality, and we got now Rainbow Bells, which was amazing, bro. I'm really impressed. We got also the Big Scotty. And we're gonna get also some rosin coming in soon from the guy Extractor, who is gonna join us, I guess, later on.
Absolutely,
and,
that's fire.
We're now gonna trying to keep the American way. We're trying to get
Both.
with some
'Cause we
American
need-
flavors.
We need
you know?
Dutch
Yeah.
and Cali. You know what I mean?
It's-
So-
That's weird, you know,
We need
guys.
both.
How what you were talking about before, you know, for me now it's like the Kelly vibe. You know, I want to go to Kelly, and you guys are having the
here.
Amsterdam vibe. You know, I mean,
Well, you know what? You guys got over here what we need, and we got over there what you need.
yeah, exactly.
So we gotta
That's
find a way to
that's
fucking
why it's
figure
fun
this
to
shit out.
collaborate.
Ain't that the truth?
But back in the days, guys, it all
We
come
damn
from
shit.
Europe anyway. You know.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I mean, with New Amsterdam
Absolutely.
and then later on
Yeah,
the rest
exactly.
of the
Yeah,
places.
Right when I was old enough, I came out here to smoke weed. That was the basis of my trip was like, we had a free place to stay. One of my best friends his family was Dutch.
Mhm.
Stayed with his relatives and it was like 20, 30 minutes from the city. And we came to smoke weed and we smoked at every single shop. And we
You guys
spent
went
a lot
all
of-
over.
Everybody
We
from
went
all over
crazy.
the world
Had a
were
lot of
doing
fun.
it those
And then we
days,
found
bro.
a smart shop, a mushroom shop.
Yeah.
And our trip changed.
What was your
A
favorite?
very different trip after that.
What was your favorite strain though when you came out? When you were that like
Big
that
Buddha
one?
cheese.
That was
those
the
were
one,
times,
huh?
right?
That was the fire.
2007. Yeah, those were the times.
I
yeah,
kept
bro.
going back for
Yeah,
that. I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
yo, this is it. But it was Big Buddha cheese. And I know that
Yeah,
shit was
those
just
were
like,
the days of
yo,
the cheese. Yeah.
there's a real dope shop down there. Not to digress too much, but it's on the canal and there's like the booths have windows where you're like looking out like eye level at the canal almost.
Trippy.
It was Hill Street Blues, probably.
Maybe.
It was full of graffiti inside.
Maybe.
Once you go
Stickers.
down.
But you see the windows in the canal.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like-
yeah, yeah. It
Hill Street
used to be a
Blues.
coffee
Yeah,
shop. Then it was
so
just a
dope,
bar for a
amazing.
while. Now it's
Amsterdam's
gone.
So
amazing.
dope,
Yeah,
man,
man.
for real. And we would
Amsterdam's
just sit
off the
there,
chain.
roll up and smoke and drink hot tea. And that's when I realized like, damn, when you drink hot tea, when you smoke, it's like really complimenting. It like helps a lot.
Yeah.
You know
They
what I
offer it
mean?
at
So-
every place out here,
Yeah,
and it's like
yeah,
a
You don't
big
get that
thing.
in the US, really.
No?
Like,
Yeah.
nah,
No.
You
it's-
That's-
people aren't offering. When I ask for hot tea at a restaurant, they look at me crazy.
Really?
You know what they'll
Isn't that
hand you?
sad? You know,
They're
it's
gonna
like,
hand you a
what?
bottle of water that was sitting by the window. There's your hot water. I mean, honestly, like that's
So the hospitality, it's but we're hoping that
so
it'll come
weird,
to
man.
Vegas. It'll come to Miami. It's definitely coming to New York. Vegas just now allowed lounges. We're gonna see what happens. You know what I mean? Maybe the Jack Herrera Cup will come back in a lounge. We'll do a live podcast at
It'll
the
be
Cup.
great.
Vegas.
It'll
Oh
be
yeah,
great.
we can
Let's
manifest
do
some
it.
shit and make it happen. I'm hoping the lounges. I'm hoping they really open it up and allow us to enjoy some hospitality
Yeah, yeah.
while we enjoy good herb.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know what I
man.
mean?
Yeah.
Because no matter where we're at, the herb is going to come from all over. If we're in Vegas, it's going to come from all over. It's not just going to come from
Definitely.
Vegas. You know what I mean? So
And we're seeing Cali everywhere. I mean, absolutely everywhere. It's crazy.
It's a global import at this point.
It is.
It really is.
And the
man.
price point, guys. What do you think about the comparison when you look at the menu, when you compare like Dutch weed prices and when you look at Cali weed prices?
Local versus import.
Yeah.
It makes sense. I mean, but the prices definitely, I'll say this just to be in the forefront. Prices are going to regulate.
Mhm.
The prices are going to regulate. You know what happened with COVID, that spike and all this
Yeah,
jump
that
and
was
all
a
that.
crazy thing.
Pretty
With
crazy.
the hash, for
It's going to
example.
regulate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Doubles
it's
the
going to
price, huh?
regulate.
The hash
It's gonna
market,
regulate.
the
Flower-
hash
went
market
down
was
It's
crazy.
going to have to regulate. I
Flower
already
in
know.
the country, flower in California is top. I mean, the top stuff is realistically 445, 555, and 6. And I think I think the top stuff is between $5,000 and $6,000 a
unit.
pound right now.
Yeah,
So it's top right now.
Yeah.
It's at the top I've ever seen it, and
Right.
I've been in around 20 years.
It's like that for real estate.
never been this price for you
US.
guys, I guess,
Yeah.
right?
never,
So
not
it's
since
great
20 years.
peak.
Yeah, I mean, for
Yeah.
you that you've
Wow.
been in 20 years in the cannabis thing, I guess it's a really high price, right?
Yeah, it is. It's very high price, but at the same time,
We're dealing with a saturation problem in the U.S. with
Oh.
mediocre and low end products.
yeah.
Also, like hemp, low end hemp, mass production. And
Yeah.
it's proving that the consumer isn't interested in these products.
they want
all.
top
Yeah,
shelf.
of course. Yeah,
Not to smoke them, at least. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
for
yeah.
like whatever topical treatments, this and that. But how much are you really buying of that? You know what I mean? So
yeah,
flower and extracts are what's selling and what people want. So it's about top tier and it's about raising the bar.
hash rosin is real big. Where back
Yeah.
in the States, I don't see any of that out here. You guys
Yeah,
are
we
still
got
on
it,
like
we got
the
it. Yeah,
isolator
yeah.
and the bubble and stuff,
Yeah, we got it.
which is something something that we need to switch. You
Yeah,
guys need to
yeah.
bring some rosin
Yeah,
over here,
exactly.
and we
Oh,
need
yeah.
to bring some forms of bubble or these
Yeah.
hash forms that you guys.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, I've
Yeah.
been loving them.
You guys
Absolutely
haven't
cool.
got even Moroccan hash is hard to find in your places, right?
Oh man, it's
It's-
funny to say that like it would be looked down more on to bring in Moroccan hash than it would be to make hash in California.
Yeah,
People
yeah, yeah.
would. I don't know how people would accept it. It'd be very interesting. Like they'd be cool with it, but there's this wave right now of like local. And like local, like, oh, I know the guy who made it. I know that guy made it. And that's like the wave right now. You know, you get real close to the grower or the hash maker.
Yeah, definitely.
I think I think with a business like you're running, right? Like any hospitality business, you have to do both.
There's a market for everybody. And it's just about what are you willing to pay for it, but also how much effort and how much passion and how much time does a breeder put into his product? That's what I think a lot of people forget out here, because
more than's ever been noted.
Why do I pay 3 times the price? And I'm like, okay, well, it takes 3 times longer. And then they're like, yeah, that's crazy. They don't know about curing. They don't know about nothing about that, you know. And that's what's also important, to educate. People need to be more educated about here. Also, a thing before I forget, I brought a present for you guys. Then we're switching from weed and hash to edible.
Oh my!
Because that's also a thing out here. I got like, I don't know if you're a heavy smoker. I got like a really strong one. I got like the normal ones.
We smoke heavy.
We smoke heavy, man.
Yeah,
so,
we do.
And let me give you
got Stonies.
Heavy one.
All right,
Stonies. Okay.
Choco Loco Bar. Choco Loco.
Choco Loco.
I'm gonna get a video.
Loco.
I'm gonna get a video for all the First Smoke family that's got this
almond,
exclusive access. We're on the Stonies right now. Look at this.
Almond, caramel, salted caramel. And that one is milk chocolate. That's a double dose.
I like
that's 250 milligrams. These are each 100.
Oof.
I don't know which flavor you like.
Boom.
Whatever you think, brother.
Well, do you like caramel?
Yeah, perfect.
I would definitely try the caramel.
Do it.
Yeah, this is 100 milligrams. 5 pieces, 20 milligrams basically each. If I take 2 of them, then I sleep very well. So
200, that's a lot.
No. I mean 2 pieces.
Oh, okay.
I'm a smoker.
I was about to say,
I'm not an edible guy,
bars?
but with me, 2 slices, I'm like good.
I would like to turn this into a s'more.
Watch out with it.
Take half of it and turn it into a s'more. You know, like a roasted s'more. Man, that's what's up.
We might get some more food before we eat some of these.
Oh yeah,
you already know.
Find a good field, and lay down.
Since we're not going to be here, what we would expect at the Jack Herrera Cup 2021.
At the Hard Rock itself is going to be an amazing event, because the past year, nothing has been going on, honestly. For us, it's always a gamble, because you never know if they're going to lock down anything. But if you don't gamble, you're never going to win, you know? So we have to put the balls on the plate and do it. Luckily, we have a lot of support from the industry, and people, they respected that we do it instead of just, wait until things are going to happen. And we don't like to wait. We don't like to sit still. And yeah, we just want to continue the legacy of Jack. And I think the event itself is going to be like the first time. It's going to be like a reunion for a lot of people from the industry. I mean, it's like networking. It's a business to business event. So it's not gonna like consumers are going to walk around there. With all due respect to the consumers, obviously, because, we love them, and they're going to be able to have the live stream this year. So they are able to check the ceremony live, which is a new thing, because we do want to have some interaction, obviously, with the consumers. But the event itself is a business-to-business event, and it's for networking for the people from the industry.
Awesome.
And the award show, obviously. And that's, where it's getting really excited, because that's where for the attendees, it's all about, obviously.
Can you give us into a few things you got planned for the people, since it won't be spoiling it?
Well, we have some interesting judges. We also have a Lifetime Achievement Award this year again.
Oh, wow.
And since it's going to be broadcasted after, I can tell you the 3 people that we nominated for this. Mila Jansen, she's the first nominee. Then we have Ben Dronkers. That was the one who won it in the first place. Henk de Vries from the Bulldog, and Werner Bruining.
Wow.
He's the founder of Mellow Yellow. Those are the 3 that are the nominees for the Lifetime Achievement Award.
Wow.
So I hope they will attend at the event, and one of those 3 will be the lucky winner of that Lifetime Achievement.
Absolutely. Congratulations to whoever takes that home and wins that.
Oh yeah, because all 3 of them, whoever wins that, they are they're legends, and they are people that need to be respected and need to be thought about. You know, I mean, they are the reason why we are sitting here today and
celebrated and rewarded. 100%. I like where your head's at, Mark. I like how you do business. I like how you make things happen. That's why we're here now, man.
Appreciate it.
For real. You gotta just get up and get it done and make it happen.
Exactly.
Can't sit back and gotta go full speed ahead.
Yep.
especially in this business.
If you want to make a change, then you got to make that change yourself.
Absolutely.
You know?
100%.
It's not going to come by.
Hell yeah.
Definitely not going to show up.
Great place to
right,
meet other
Mark?
growers. Great place
No
to meet
way.
other people that are in the community, man.
Absolutely.
Connect. Hell yeah.
Also, the vibe of this table, guys, is amazing. I mean, I just met you, but I feel
I
the energy
appreciate
is
that.
here really good.
Yeah,
I
You
love
too.
it.
I can tell you're a good person, man, and you're a real
Thanks, man.
business person. I respect that. So
Thanks,
you're
man.
really putting in the work, and I know what it takes to put in that work. So
Appreciate it a lot, man.
yeah, absolutely.
For you
Hell
guys
yeah.
as well. Appreciate what you're doing and that you come all the way from Cali over here to
You know, we're here with the locals, living like locals, and
Yeah,
we
man.
appreciate that you guys let us in like that and let us get that experience, because we realize like it's not everyone's experience that comes to Amsterdam. You know what I mean? To get to know all the good spots.
Yeah.
And I will say this is a tight knit community. It's like this in Cali too, where there's a group of breeders, growers, and curators and tastemakers that stick together, that are raising the levels constantly and changing the game and innovating. So I see that out here, and I see you guys rolling together as a crew and really appreciating both ends as well. So I'm hoping this will influence a lot of the Cali homies and a lot of the people back home to sign on with some of the Dutch stuff and, you know, really appreciate Amsterdam for everything they've done for cannabis. You know what I mean?
Connoisseurs
So-
will.
Yeah.
They'll
absolutely.
love some of these flavors.
Absolutely. So,
Hell yeah.
all right,
Awesome,
we're going to
man.
bring Captain Hooter
Yeah,
in.
man.
Let's do it. Hey, DeJaun, we
Thanks,
appreciate you,
guys.
bro.
It was
DeJaun's
lovely
going to
to
peace
stay with you
out.
and talk with
We're going
you.
to stick with Mark and the
Thank
Jack
you,
Herrera
guys.
Cup. He's going to bring on Captain Hooter, who's one of the judges of the Jack Herrera Cups. Appreciate you, DeJaun. Thanks for hosting us in this beautiful facility, brother.
Man. here
Man,
we
Captain
go.
Hooter, here he is.
Hey,
What's
happening,
up,
guys?
big dog? How you doing?
Callie back in the house.
Captain Hooter, start off, man. Where are you from, brother?
Originally from California.
I could tell. I could tell. That's why I had to know.
Grew up in Palm Springs.
Okay.
Enjoyed Cali Bud from the get go.
Absolutely.
And yeah,
So do we.
traveled around all around California for a long time. Had my wife and I ended up starting a company 35 years ago that planned events and meetings all around the world. And
dope.
we started making regular rounds here into Amsterdam right around 1995. Caught one of the early cannabis cups with Jack Herrera. Actually, was there. Chef Raw, remember Chef Raw? He was the cooking guy originally from High Times magazine. Steve Hager, I
Haze?
believe, was the editor at that time. You know, we had what was it? Probably about 600-700 people, mostly Americans. A wide swath of different kinds of people, all in one shot. Everybody paid in those days. It was like $700, $800, and you got a sample from all of the participating, coffee shops in those days. And my wife and I got set up over at the Grand Hotel. We got there about a week early. Got one of our VIP badges all dialed in and started our adventure here in Amsterdam and started hitting, the greenhouse was probably our first place. Got to meet Franco and
Wow. What year was this?
1995.
Wow.
This
was your first time to Amsterdam?
Very first time for me. My wife had been here.
Wow. And
before,
so your
but
first
it-
time you came and got set up. You got set up with a judge's kit, meet Franco.
Boom. And learned about cannabis way more than what I had ever learned before.
Right.
You learn from the
those
best,
days.
man.
Real history.
Hit all of the first, the big coffee shops. And in those days, there were hundreds of them. There were so many more. They were all over the
Wow.
place. And so that began my process. And, over the next, 20 years, I used to come every other year or so and would do the Cannabis Cup. And about 7 years ago, 8 years ago, semi-retired from my business in California, moved here to Amsterdam, right in the center, literally right across the street from the greenhouse. And
Right here in the Hague.
right, no, this was in Amsterdam, right in the
got it.
center of Amsterdam, right?
Got it.
And just kind of making some decisions about what I'm going to do with my career and everything. And my old man passed away in California. Bummer, right? So I
Wow.
fly back to California. I come back. I'm talking to my best friend from Canada. My old nickname years ago was Captain Hooter. from whenever there was some sort of giant task, who can hit that bong, clear that bong, who could roll the biggest joint, who could do, this is a job for Captain Hooter.
Captain Hooter. would
So
do
I
it.
had, yeah, exactly. One of those kind of things. And that was just, it was a
Call
funny
Captain Hoot.
name. You know, it was just a nickname. And
What's funny is I'm eating some of this chocolate edible you just gave me right here, and I realize we have an infused dinner tonight. I'm like, putting
Let's
this
start to
away.
stack it, bro. Come on.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, Captain Hooter.
Let's get this boulder
How does it
rolling.
taste?
I just had a 911 emergency in my head. It tastes amazing, and that's why I'm like pushing it further away. I'm like,
He'll eat the whole thing.
I know
Watch.
myself. It's like, no,
He's gonna.
no, back into it, Captain.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So anyway, the bottom line was that I had a friend from Canada who was coming down to visit me. And he said, what was the best coffee shop now that you're living there? What's the best coffee shop?
Yeah.
I'm a very analytical person. I said, I don't know. I haven't been to all of them. And that was literally the beginning of
That date, what do you think the best was?
Well, what I did.
What was your favorite?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing. There was, at the time that was the question, there was 169 coffee shops.
Yes, you were like undecided.
No, I went to all of them.
Holy
I
shit.
did all 169 of them.
You sound like this guy. He went to Las Vegas and went to every single casino his first trip.
And gambled. I gambled at every single casino in Vegas.
Which one did you lose the most?
Honestly, that trip I was chilling. I actually, I had some extra fun because of it. Yeah,
really?
Vegas is a fun place. You
Like
know?
was beginner's luck the first time because I had it with craps the first time.
I was wearing a
700. I
suit.
was like, whoa, this is my game.
I was wearing a suit, so I got treated pretty nice. I came in a full suit, and I went to every single casino and I gambled. I mean, but yeah, I'm like that too. I get put on missions, and there's no getting me out of my mission mode.
169 shops.
169.
What was the journey like? Tell
So
us about it.
literally, I started off too aggressively. I started off trying to do 5 a day. But I did it like they do with the Michelin restaurants, right? Where I did exactly the same thing at each place, and I used the exact same language. And a lot of these places had never seen me before, so I had no reputation. They didn't know anything about me, anything. And I thought that I had my game together enough to be able to take this on.
Right.
And about a week into it, I started to realize that a lot of the names of the cultivars that were being put on the screen was not what I was seeing.
It's a switcheroo.
There was just a lot of it.
Pulling the switcheroo on Captain Hoot.
But I wasn't really, I knew something, you know, the song, you know, something's happening, but you don't know what it is.
Yep.
And I thought I was out of my league, and I've
been there before.
Yeah,
I can relate.
I got really lucky, and I got connected through a friend of mine to the Trichome Institute.
Got it.
And
Max
Montrose.
Yes.
And Max Montrose saved the whole project, basically. And
So how many did you get in before you met
Spit some facts to us. Like,
Trichome?
how many?
How many coffee shops in before you met him? And
15.
15.
And what threw me off, which was funny, was Snoop Dogg Cali Kush. I went into one of the shops, and the guy goes, Snoop Dogg Cali Kush. And I was still fresh coming from Cali. And so I'm going, damn, okay, finally I've got something that I can count on, you know, and I know this like the back of my hand. And it wasn't even close, you know, it wasn't even in a ballpark. And I go, man, maybe I'm not really suited to do this. And Max, just the maximum class, got my interpreting, you know, in gear, started to look at things a little differently instead of looking at the names or the THC.
Start looking at the herbs, smelling for the terps.
It's exactly.
I don't even pay attention. They show that. Yeah. Let me see it.
Right. So
I don't even.
smell it, yeah.
I'm pretty cold hearted when it comes to it. At this point, I'm just like, let me see it. Let me look at it. I gotta. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So I went back at it. I finished them all. I picked out the top 20, handed out awards, did a whole deal. I wrote The Connoisseur's Guide to the Amsterdam Coffee Shops.
and where can that be found? That's a book.
It's on Amazon. It's been out for a couple of years.
That's
That was
fire.
2018. I redid the book last year and went through. I included some cities like Utrecht, and including this one, which this is one of the grand winners, as you guys obviously picked
Absolutely.
out. This is the spot.
We didn't pick out. They picked us out.
Yeah,
man.
well, I'll tell you.
Thankfully.
I'll tell you what. You landed right on the spot. you
Right
know?
on the money.
We had some good guidance, and we're here at the Greenhouse Secret Farmer smoking fire
Brilliant.
with Captain Hooter.
And exactly.
Hell yeah.
Straight up.
So I just got back, I just got back from Portugal to go check out what the scene was. And while I've been here, I've been just scouting around and getting all the other.
Let's hear about that.
Portugal's pretty sad, dude. That was
The grows are
everything.
Let's hear about the grow. Like, what's the grow like?
I didn't. I got one bud.
Okay.
In 2 weeks that I was there, I was up in Porto. So I didn't go down further,
Lisbon or anything.
But I had a bunch of different people that knew I was coming, and the 5-0 there. It's like I felt like I was going back to California in 1972 or something. And the church is a very heavy influence there. The wine industry is a very heavy influence there.
Mm-hmm.
I floated around some ideas with a few people there, and they all said, "Yeah, no, that's not going to be happening here anytime soon."
What type of ideas, Captain?
Well, lounges,
Got it.
Especially
Clubs.
Beautiful locations. I was just in Jamaica, and Jamaica has got the lounges down there right now.
Please
Jamaica is beautiful.
Please tell us
guys.
about
Go
that.
out there.
Captain Hooter's a world traveler.
Well,
I had no idea.
This is my new
You're a
book.
cannabis pirate. Holy shit.
No.
Captain on the ship.
Hey, if I'm there, I'm going to try it.
Absolutely. No, you're a cannabis pirate. You're going all over. I love it. Captain Hooter. It makes sense.
I was just in Jamaica for 8 months, from November, right after the last year's cup, up until just about a month ago. And I was in Jamaica, and I'm writing a connoisseur's guide to the Jamaican herb houses. Wow. I went to each one of the herb houses.
So they're called herb houses.
They're herb houses there. Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
And then
tell us about an experience of an herb house.
okay. So, if you're going to get off the airplane, the first thing that's going to happen is when you come out of the airport, and I'll give away some of my book here. I'll give you some of the goodies.
Yeah,
as soon as you
man,
come
you
out
the
of the
man.
airport, just like a video game, dollar signs appear above your head. And the taxi drivers and all of the people that are outside there have now estimated what your worth is. And based on your luggage, how you walk, everything is there. And then you will get hit at least once or twice from there to the whatever transportation you have to buy some weed. Almost all of the street bud ganja, bush ganja that I saw wasn't satisfactory.
Right.
And I look at everything with a microscope now, as you know, from
you
Matt's
popped right up.
Montrose.
You popped right up with a light, and it was a microscope light.
Yeah, and you
I
have
was
to have
like,
a black
holy
light.
shit.
You have to have a black light. In Jamaica.
There's no mold on this.
Yeah,
It's
in
for
Jamaica.
real,
In Jamaica,
Nah, I didn't grow it.
you must have a black light in Jamaica. If you're connoisseur level,
No,
you
seriously.
have to have it.
I could see it out there. It's a lot of outdoor. It's very, very tropical.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's tough to grow there, man.
I'm sure,
it's a brutal place to grow. And you think that it's so, and one of the interesting things about it is that the way that a lot of the Rastas grows, they just throw seeds in the ground and then they come back in 3 months. And then they grab the plants, they pull them out of the ground. Sometimes they'll hang them upside down. Sometimes they'll just lay them on a piece of tin and let it all just kind of cook there. Seldom is there a real serious curing experience that ever takes place, but nobody ever touches those buds. So they're clean, they're pure in the trichomes. When you look at it under a microscope, the trichomes are all sitting there and they're all jumped out, but they're all brown, right? So you've got CBG, right? CBN. So you're going to go right to sleep with this
couch lock and the munchies.
But you'll have 10,000 seeds inside of it. Almost all of them are covered with seeds, but still, because nobody's fucked with it, you end up with this really kind of a pure smoke out of it.
Different experience.
Completely different experience. And so it's strange. The problem is that there's, a lot of insects and webs, and depending on how deep you want to get into looking at your buds beforehand.
Right.
But I'll say inside the herb houses, the quality of everything went from.
So where should we go?
So you skip the swag at the airport.
Okay.
Don't grab that.
Don't go get something.
Make sure you set up transportation with your hotel or something so that you're tight work.
So,
that's just a life hack tip for me.
So depending on where you're going, if you're going into Montego Bay, which is the main one where most people go, the closest best scenario to go to is a place called Island Strains. And it's probably 5-10 minute drive from the airport to this place.
Amazing.
It's on the ocean.
Yeah.
The quality of the bud is above average for the island. There's alcohol. There's great food. There's usually good, interesting people that are there. The nightlife
in the world.
The nightlife is unbelievable.
Wow.
It is by far the prettiest sunset. One of the most beautiful places to smoke a joint at the sunset that I've ever seen. anywhere in the world.
Wow.
And it's a phenomenal
Island
spot.
strains in
Island
Montego
strains
Bay.
in Montego Bay.
Actually, someone
Captain Hooter, you're making me want to take a diversion trip before I head back to the
Yeah.
States. Stop in Montego Bay at Island Strains.
You guys should for sure. You know, it's funny. Captain and me, we met each other
right.
in Jamaica.
Get the
We did the cup
You
out
met
there
Captain
too.
Hooter in Montego Bay in Jamaica.
Montego Bay when
And
we
now
were-
you got him coming to the Jack Herrera Cup.
Oh, that's how you
we,
connected.
we
You
had
gotta
the
be
cup
shitting
over
me.
there. And then where there was the Cannabis convention, which was held over for 3 days. And then we did the cup at the very
Oh.
final day of the convention.
Oh, wow.
And I was
big
there.
shout out to Douglas from Cannabis, by the way, because
Yeah.
he does a
Douglas
damn
Gordon.
good job over there. You know, he tries to,
Damn.
he works his ass off and he's trying to do his best. And everything
Absolutely.
what he does is looking really good. So we had a really great time. And one of the beautiful things from that trip was meeting Captain Hooter.
That-
And
that
yeah,
was-
we had an amazing time.
Absolutely.
We had a
Did you
I was
guys-
fascinated
so you
by
guys-
him. You
you
know,
guys
when you hear
met-
his stories, you'll be fascinated from the first minute.
I'm
he's talking,
already
you know.
fascinated. He's a cannabis pirate.
Yeah.
And I mean,
I love it.
I think you may be the only one that I've met.
I don't know. I'm trying.
So you guys met at Island Strains in Montego Bay?
No. We were at the same hotel.
You were at this. Okay.
Because he was also going
But you guys
to
enjoyed some
Cannex.
time there and stuff.
I was
And
covering
I'm-
Cannex for Cannabis Culture magazine. And
Got
so I was there for just covering it for it. But that's
We
how-
met by Jonathan.
Yeah.
By Jonathan Hurst.
Do you guys know
Instagram
Jonathan
416.
I don't.
Oh, that is a character that you must.
Yeah?
and you
Yeah.
need to
So
have
where
him
is
on the
he
show.
originating from?
So he's in Toronto.
He's the other pirate.
Yeah.
Got it. He's the other pirate.
He's-
Aye.
He's an educator, and I believe that he's now in either new product development or he's a concentrates expert. And
Wow.
dude is a Rain Man to me. I've had a
Maybe-
chance to hang out with him in a couple of different conferences,
Yeah.
and he is one of the most sincere, cool guys. He's a wonderful conversation on a multitude of topics,
Yes.
and he has no filter. So
I love that.
And so when we were in Jamaica, it was hilarious because when we first all met, and we met in this one area, and Rastas came out, and I had all of my interpreting stuff and my black light, and guys were bringing things out to us and saying, "Hey man, check out our bud." And he's just brutal. I pull out the black light, and he goes, "Oh God, look at that! There's another Darth Vader. Look at all the mold and mildew on this." He goes, "Dude, this is all wrong. You're doing this wrong. You need to, But then he's
honest,
he's
you know?
helpful. He's helpful. And gave them advice, and
Yeah.
and
Respectful.
so we were kind of doing a 1-2 thing with the Rastas, and on the second day we had like 40 guys out there, so it got like more and more, and they were going,
They
and
were lined up.
I kept telling me to stop telling me about, because there's such great promoters. All of the guys that were out there, they were oh man, this is going to be the best bud and I go, no, listen, stop. This is the truth. And with the microscope, this is the truth. And so on the third day, guys are going, "Captain, come here, show me the truth. I need the truth. Show me the truth." And they literally were so sincere because they wanted to know, what are you seeing?
Absolutely.
I've never seen this before.
Yeah.
And then in this last trip while I was in Jamaica, I create artworks from the microscopic shots that I take. And so I had several of the top growers, while they started hearing about me going around the island, and some of the independent growers started coming and bringing me some of their buds. And that was where I started seeing some really, fascinating, premium things. And some of these guys are witches out there, man. They've got such incredible obstacles that they have to deal with.
So if someone's going to Jamaica, how do they get that? How do they get to that product?
Okay, so there's several different guys that are on Instagram that I highly recommend, getting to know. There's a gentleman, INI Genetics in Amsterdam, or in Montego Bay, is somebody to get to know. Archie Genetics, who's in Kingston, is somebody to get to know. There'll be some others that I'll put into Ross Emmanuel, although that you shouldn't even think about getting Ross Emmanuel because his stuff never gets seen by the public.
INI Genetics.
INI Genetics.
Where is he out of?
Montego Bay.
Montego Bay.
Yes.
What was the next one? I'm writing this down too.
Okay. Archie Genetics. Archie Genetics out of Kingston. And he runs I think it's not a High Times Cup, but a cup there in Kingston.
Absolutely.
Also.
And then who? And then
Who's the third one you said you can probably never get his product?
Ross Emmanuel.
Okay.
EMMM. He's a French born Rasta, which is what fantastic. I love meeting Rastas in other parts of the world who aren't really Rastafarian or aren't really born, Jamaican. In Spain, in Bilbao, Spain, which is just below San Sebastian, they have one of the cannabis clubs down there where you become a member and then they grow. And that gentleman is, I believe, originally from Venezuela. Wow. And he has full rastas, full dreadlocks, like he's a 20-year plus, commitment into being a Rasta. And he's in Spain, Venezuelan accent. And then, when I showed him something with the microscope, he'd go, a bumbaclot, I'm going, and I go, whoa. And whenever he spoke, he had a sound that had a little bit of Bob Marley in it. Right. So, I don't know how much time he'd actually had in Jamaica, but he had so much experience from listening to Bob Marley that his voice could mimic certain sounds. So it sounded just much more authentic from Jamaica, having just come from there. Right.
Absolutely, man. That's crazy experiences all around.
It's very cool. The cool thing about Jamaica heading there now is that mushrooms are legal.
Oh, wow.
And that
this is gearing us up for the first Smoke of the Day Jamaica tour.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, this is the
like
thing.
You got some mushrooms with your breakfast.
And the guy that we were just talking about.
Interesting day.
The guy that we were just talking about that runs the Cannex is
Douglas.
Douglas Gordon, and he runs a magic mushroom clinic. Silo Genetics, I think it's called Silo Genetics.
He just made a deal talking about Marley. He just made a deal with the Marley family for this
Marley's mushrooms,
for his new mushroom line. Yeah.
Wow.
In combination with a Dutch company also. There's a Dutch company involved, I saw. But yeah, it's a new thing.
Yeah. He had another big conference.
So Jamaica, the weed tourism, it's going well.
The weed tourism going very well.
The herb houses.
The quality of everything is going up. When I first got, just in the 8 months that I was there, it moved a great deal. The number one biggest player on the island right now is a place called Kaya. And Kaya, the gentleman that runs it is Bali. And he's a very wise man, smart guy, got in there early. I believe he was the first one that had one of the first licenses in Jamaica.
They also won the award for best dispensary on the island. And they won another award for best indica, I think.
One of the things that really
best extract. They have their own extract line.
There was a period of time, I think it was in January, February, and you might have heard about it, that there was a drought in Jamaica and there was no weed in Jamaica. And the country was offended by the fact that for the first time, there was a drought of weed in Jamaica. And it was interesting because there wasn't a drought of weed. There was a drought of good weed. Right. There was a lot of shit weed that people had been stockpiling because there was no tourists there. And old bud was available, but you couldn't sell that, right? One of the things I have so much respect about with Kaya and with Bali was that in the peak of all of that, he was one of the only shops that completely stripped his line down. He says, I have one cultivar that's good right now. And that's no booth. I'm not putting out any shit. Bunk. I'm not going to put out any shit, and I can't say
quality,
that about
that's important.
Other places.
Do you know what are the strains that you're seeing out there that are the top strains, like quality wise? Like, what if I'm going out there and I'm talking to people and what am I asking for?
The thing that I think everyone's still looking for is the original old school
lamb's bread,
Jamaican lamb's bread.
Yeah.
In the 8 months that I was there, I was sold 4 different things that were supposed to be lamb's bread, which was kind of like one of the things about here with Dreams Gold, where they'll say it's one thing. There's one of the most copied cultivars there is, right? Too. And the original stuff, I'm not even sure it exists anymore.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all do they sell it under names though, or is it just you're just looking for good quality product with crystals?
That's and again, the thing about interpreting is that's what all I really care about is the quality of the bud and what kind of effect it's going to have on me, right? And I'm going to look at it from 20 different angles to ascertain the quality of that bud. And again, I had some guys that did homegrown stuff. Some of these growers that were small, super small batch that grew some fucking beautiful buds, man. And, they know what they're doing in small batch kind of scenarios. They probably can't grow to scale.
Is it indoor or are we talking like greenhouse or outdoor?
Well, I saw both.
Okay. So
but I
the
mean,
indoors looking pretty good.
Indoors looking very good. And, and I think that's one of the things also is that, I saw some outdoor large scale grows and they're scary. All of those are scary. And there's just so much that can go wrong. And if you go too large and if you don't have the labor, and again, here we were the time that I was there, I was one of the few white people that was on the island of Jamaica, right? There was no tourism. You could spot me from Kingston, from Montego Bay. Oh, that white boy over there. Yeah, there he is.
They need very
Captain Hooter.
They need very specific genetics for that environment.
Yes.
And if they've lost lamb's bread and they've lost these genetics that they came up with that grow in that environment, we're talking tropical Jamaica now, right? We're talking raining every couple days. We're very similar to some other places, but they've lost that and they've tried to chase new genetics and then put them in a field outside. Yeah, that's gonna be a battle.
You got like nine different soils on the island. That's what I heard from one of the older Rastafarians. He was saying like, okay, there's 2 where I grow on. The other 7, I don't want to grow on. He says, because then the quality is less and my yield is also less. And,
they know areas of where there's high potassium in the soil, or they know it to be areas where maybe shells, who knows what was there before.
Exactly.
That's really cool. That's really
this
dope.
guy goes way back so far that even when the FBI raided the island to burn down the trees, they took them out, like a few to save the genetics. And when you hear stories like that from these older generations, you're like, whoa. This is amazing.
There are a couple of places that are making some efforts to try to save those genetic. The one that right away that I saw was the one called Jacana, and they're probably the most boutique type of herb houses in Jamaica right now.
I would venture to say I know someone
Jacana, yes, and they had some lamb's bread. They had some lamb's bread that I had a chance to taste before I left, and again, I don't have any real recollections even in all my other times of going to Jamaica to have anything to really compare it to. I know what it's supposed to be, what it's supposed to smell like, and how it should taste. And it was it
smells great, by the way.
it wasn't the thing.
Which flavor is that?
This is actually a mix of Ztini from Karma Genetics and also one of his other Skittle strains, Ztini and KZ.
Oh, wow. That's available here at Greenhouse?
No, this is like
not yet.
Karma Genetics.
It smells really amazing.
Basically
some Z terps, some Skittles,
fire
terps, his twist on it and stuff.
Great Dutch grower.
It's crazy because it kind of turned in like a side part Jamaica episode, and since it did, any tips for any travelers that are going to Jamaica, because obviously Amsterdam, number one, go here, come to the coffee shops, take in this history. But if you happen to be like Captain Hooter and want to be somewhat of a cannabis pirate and go to Jamaica, what are some tips for if you're going out there?
Okay. So definitely, unless you know a grower, if you know a grower ahead of time or follow some of the guys on Instagram and get in touch with those ahead of time, fantastic. Otherwise, go to the herb houses to get your bud. Avoid the convenience of the bus boy or the bellman or whoever the driver. Unfortunately, the quality just wasn't there, for me. And some things I saw were frightening.
Places to stay, places to eat.
Oh, there's a bunch of them. Half Moon Bay Resort is number one. That's
I see that one popping up.
That is the spot.
Is that one dope?
Oh my God. It is it's got everything you need. It's right where it's the perfect base to go anywhere you want to go from the island. The place that I lived was right above that resort. So I was right there. So I was on that property when I was there 10 years ago. I lived on the property, and it's like
how long were you there?
Acre there. I lived there for a year. 10 years ago. Yeah. We had a business contract there to help reorganize some things, and
that's awesome.
Got a chance to explore, and I got very comfortable there, and but hell again,
I'm gonna tell him I know Captain Hooter, and I should be good,
dude. You are. I'll tell you right now. All of those places know who I am.
Captain Hooter from Cali.
I helped out a lot.
He told me to come here.
I tried to help as much as I could. They are on their way to making themselves one of the number one premium ganja destinations. And if they open up all the windows and all the doors and let the Jamaicans go to work and start creating all the great edibles and all the great tinctures and all the great other products that they could make there, oh my God. With the magic mushrooms, it's just at the baby levels, but already I had a chance to try some mushroom honey before I left. That was I think 400 milligrams of, but had 2 grams of golden teacher in it. And it actually activates inside the jar. So you have to stir it up every night. And then you can just do a teaspoon a day. And, no colors, no anything, but you walk around with a smile on your face like nobody's visiting. Yeah, you're just feeling, it's a really cool little high. And they create something else called Shroom Shine, which is 400 milliliters of overproof rum with 2 grams of mushrooms ground up in like a coffee thing. You grind that up and then filter it out. And then that makes 2 tripping balls, pina coladas, or 4, you could, because it's standardized, right, with all of the quantity and quality of everything, so that you can actually microdose that if you want to as well.
That's dope. That's real trippy.
Makes the trip interesting.
Hell yeah.
I think they're going to have some really great
Jamaica's going to have some good tourism coming. Yeah, absolutely. Plant medicines are becoming more and more popular. And,
absolutely.
Exactly.
That mixes with nature and tropics and all that. And I don't know, that makes me want to go to Jamaica for sure.
And here's the other
makes
thing.
you think why it's out there in the first place, right?
Absolutely.
If Mother Nature created it, well, it should be for the good of the people, right?
Absolutely.
And I think also it's important, if you're going to go to Jamaica, you should also check in with the Rastafarian community. I think they said the tourism said that 75% all the people that go there are actually interested or were brought in by the Rastafarians or through Bob Marley or something like that.
Absolutely.
There's a place there called the Rastafarian Indigenous Center that's in Montego Bay. The guy who runs it is First Man. Do you remember First Man? Oh God, the guy he's like, he's another butter. He's just one of the most loving, kindest guys that you're ever going to meet. And I think they're in the process of creating something out there called Mushroom World.
Wow.
And they'll have the actual spiritual Rastafarian ceremonies with the fire and the drums and the whole thing. You'll burn the big spliff. You'll take a couple mushrooms, and they'll have some way of being able to get you back and forth safely through that process. But that's going to be an experience that I think people are going to want to come and see also.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
Well, shit, man. Wrapping up here with Mark with Jack Herrera Cup, Captain Hooter in the building.
Yeah.
Can't even believe the Cannabis Priory. He sailed in this morning, came to see us right here at the Greenhouse Secret Farmers and the Hog.
Smoking fire,
smoking good. Shout out to my man, DeJaun. Thank you so much for having us, brother.
Yeah,
we
man.
appreciate you hosting us, sponsoring the trip. Appreciate all the fire you guys got and everything you're doing for the community. Really bringing the best of both worlds and just trying to give the best experience possible to the consumers. And that's what we're seeing stand out right now in this whole wave.
And Jack Herrera Cup being the perfect example.
And shout out to the Jack
man.
Herrera Cup, man. If you're out here in Amsterdam, September 12th, 2021, it's at the Hard Rock Cafe. Keep an eye out on it for Vegas, Jamaica, wherever it's at. Get with my man, Mark. If you're lucky enough to meet Captain Hooter.
Yeah, man. And get with some growers, get with some people. I mean,
travel around.
Nothing better than linking up.
Yeah, explore, man, and educate yourself on the culture and the local culture and make it a fun thing. If you're into cannabis, be about it. You know, it is a lifestyle. So
I want to go to Jamaica now.
Yeah, man.
I know.
Rastafari.
I got notes and we're going to go. We're going to definitely do it. You already know. All right, man. Signing off. Episode 18. I appreciate all you guys, man.
First smoke of the day.
Let's go.
Thank you, guys.
Peace.
Puff, puff.